Hello and welcome to Miko Microlearning video 7, this one on the to-row and to-call functions, which are very kind of simplistic, less sexy than a lot of the functions that we deal with in the dynamic array series, but also they have their uses. So we're going to talk about the syntax of those functions. We're going to talk about how to change different arguments to skip errors and skip blanks, and also to change the direction of where it scans the original array. So as a reminder, this is video 7 in the dynamic array series, and so far we have recorded videos on all of these dynamic array functions, and the next video is going to be on kind of the opposite of to-call, to-row, which is wrap calls and wrap rows. So let's take a look at what to-call, to-row does. Okay, so once again, there's to-call and to-row, and the syntax is the same, it's just the output is different. To-call returns one column of data. To-row returns one row of data. The inputs is the array. It could be a two-dimensional array or a one-dimensional array. The second input is what we want it to ignore. We can ignore blanks, we can ignore errors, or we can ignore both. And scan by column or scan by row says the direction that we want to scan as we move everything to one column or one row. So in this little example, we have a 2x2 array here. It goes from A14 to D20. It has some blanks, it has an error, and I want to put it in a column. So obviously one column, the to-call is what I want to use. So in cell F14, use to-call to convert the array A14 to D20 into one column, and we're going to scan by rows, which is the default. So I'm going to put in F14 to-call, and I'm going to say A14 through D20, and I'm not going to say anything else because rows is the default, and you'll see that it automatically does it, and it doesn't skip values or errors, and it doesn't skip blanks. It makes blanks zeros because it's part of an array, but it was a blank. And notice the direction it goes. By default, it goes by rows, so it's scanning this way: 100, 202, 311, 599. Then it goes to 110, 218. So the second one, I'm going to do the same function, okay, to call, but I'm going to use some of those arguments. I'm going to say A14 to D20. This time, though, I'm going to say ignore blanks. So that is option 1. You see 0 is the default, keep all values. 2 is ignore errors. 3 is ignore both. I'm going to say ignore blanks, but I'm going to keep the errors. And instead of scanning by rows, which is the default, I'm going to scan by columns. I'm going to put true in here. So now you notice the blanks are gone. So this array is going to be shorter because it's skipping the blanks. And it also is going by column, so it's going down and up. Okay, it's going by column instead of by rows. Okay. And the last one, we want to just remove the errors. So same, very similar, to call A14 D20. This time I want to leave the blanks and I just want to remove the errors. So I'm going to say 2, and you'll see that it gets rid of that value error where I have two things multiplied together. But the blanks, it comes back as zeros. Okay, that's what to-call does. It takes any array, makes it one column. And you think about this, the array could be one column originally, and maybe you just want to remove the blanks or remove the errors. This could be a function like a cleaning function, right? You could use it to clean the data. We want to use now to-row, which is similar syntax, except obviously it's going to return a row. So here I want to return that data that's in a 2x2 array into one row. So I'm going to use to-row, A14 to D20, and this time I don't want any blanks and I don't want any errors. I'm going to use the 3 then, and now it returns that data in one row, but it ignored or skipped the errors and the blanks. Okay. Use cases for this: one is cleaning data, right, which I mentioned. We can get rid of blanks and errors and do that quite quickly. Okay, there's other ways we can do that, but this is one way we can do it. We can clean data. Another use case is, let's say I'm doing, I don't know, some kind of sentiment analysis, and I'm using an outside package to do that, maybe something in Python or something in Tableau, and I want all the sentiments in one column. and I want to skip blanks. So I want to take, these are product quality, customer service, shipping experience. I want to take these and put them in one column, and I want to skip the blanks. So obviously our friend TOCOL can do that, right? TOCOL B6 through D15. I'm going to ignore, there's no errors, but what the heck, I'll ignore it if there are. So I'm going to say 3, ignore the errors. And I'm going to do this, let's say, scan by column. So I'm going to scan by column. And just like that, now it's going by column, it's going to go down, and it's going to skip the blank. So we see high durability, and then it skips the blank, and we have amazing craftsmanship. Perhaps I'd want to give these a value, go from a sentiment to a value. So maybe there were multiple ones that are saying the same thing. I could do this. I could say I could use 2 other dynamic array formulas. I could wrap a unique around it. And if there were 2 averages, right, it would now be just 1 average. And then I have a shorter array. And then if I wanted to sort, and this isn't sorting by like positive or negative sentiment, just alphabetically, I could wrap a sort around it. And now maybe I want to say, okay, amazing craftsmanship, that's a positive, right? Arrived early, that's a positive. Average, we'll say that it is neutral. Cold attitude, that's definitely negative. So I could go through these sentiments and I could code them as positive sentiments or negative sentiments, and then use this as like a lookup table to code those sentiments. I don't know if that's something you would actually do, or you use an outside package to do that. I would use an outside package. But just wanted to show you a use of 2-row and 2-column. Very simple, but I think can be effective if you have the right use case. Hope you enjoyed this video. Once again, the table that we worked on, the workbook we worked on, is available in the comments. And if you like this video and want to see more, please like and subscribe. Next, we'll cover wrap rows and wrap columns, which are kind of like the undo of 2-column and 2 rows. Thanks for watching. Bye.